What if I told you Japan's government was designed in just 6 days by Americans? Sounds unbelievable, right? But that's exactly how Japan's post-WWII constitution was born, and it changed everything. From a symbolic emperor to a prime minister with real power, Japan's unique system blends ancient traditions with modern democracy, and it's still shaping the nation today. But what happens when old laws clash with new threats? Stay tuned, because this journey into Japan's government will reveal some surprising truths and why its very foundation is still a hot debate. The Constitution, a symbol of change and debate. Did you know Japan's constitution was drafted in just 6 days? And by Americans, no less. This document is as controversial as it is historic. After Japan's defeat in World War II, the country adopted a new constitution in 1947, replacing the Meiji Constitution. The drafting, led mainly by American officials, was completed in just 6 days. The new constitution was revolutionary, renouncing war through Article 9, which banned traditional armed forces, guaranteed human rights, and prioritized popular sovereignty. It also transformed the emperor into a ceremonial figure with no political power, marking Japan's shift from a militaristic empire to a peaceful democracy and aiding in the rebuilding of its global reputation. The Constitution, especially Article 9, continues to spark debate. While it's seen by many as a symbol of Japan's commitment to peace, others, including the Liberal Democratic Party, argue it limits Japan's ability to defend itself in a volatile global climate. Calls for amending Article 9 have increased due to regional threats, but public opinion remains divided. The Constitution isn't just a legal document. It's a testament to Japan's transformation from an empire to a democracy rooted in peace. And yet, the ongoing debates surrounding it highlight a nation still negotiating its post-war identity, a process as dynamic and complex as Japan itself. What type of government does Japan have? If you step into a Japanese government building, but you can't quite tell if it's run like the US, the UK, or something else entirely, Japan's government might surprise you. It's neither presidential like the US nor semi-presidential like France. Japan's government operates within a parliamentary system under a constitutional monarchy, similar to the UK. Instead of voting for a president, citizens vote for a political party. The party with the most seats in the national diet, Japan's bicameral parliament, chooses the prime minister, who becomes the head of government, appoints the cabinet, and leads the nation. Meanwhile, the emperor serves as the ceremonial head of state, performing symbolic duties like hosting dignitaries and attending state events, but holds no real political power. Japan's parliamentary system has a unique aspect. There are no term limits for prime ministers. As long as their party wins elections, they can remain in office. However, internal party rules, like those of the long-dominant Liberal Democratic Party, often impose practical limits on leadership duration. The national diet is split into 2 houses, the House of Representatives, Lower House, and the House of Councillors. Together, they create laws, approve budgets, and ensure government accountability. The judiciary, grounded in civil law traditions, is independent, with the Supreme Court standing as the final legal authority. Japan's mix of monarchy, parliament, and civil law creates a government that's efficient and adaptable. It balances modern democracy with deep-rooted cultural traditions, ensuring stability and progress. Central versus regional power. Japan's unitary system. Ever wondered how much influence your local government has? In Japan, while the central government holds the majority of the power, local leaders still have their moments to shine. Japan follows a unitary system, which means the central government calls most of the shots. Local governments like prefectures do have some autonomy over certain matters, such as local taxes, health policies, and environmental regulations. However, when it comes to significant national decisions, the central government has the final word. For example, Okinawa, long at odds with the central government over the US military base issue, sued the government over the construction of a new base. Spoiler, they lost. This shows the limits of regional power, even when local communities feel strongly about an issue. Local leaders like governors and mayors have considerable influence in Japan, addressing issues like transportation, business support, and city planning. While the central government ensures consistency, regional governments must align with national policies, limiting their independence. However, citizens have more direct influence in local politics, shaping policies that impact their daily lives. Japan's unitary system combines central control with local influence. While the national government holds power, regional leaders ensure local needs are addressed, balancing national uniformity with regional flexibility. The emperor, a ceremonial symbol. Imagine a head of state with no political power but immense cultural importance, a figure who represents tradition, unity, and national identity. That's the Japanese emperor, a role unlike any other. According to Shinto beliefs, the Emperor of Japan is a descendant of the gods, making this position deeply symbolic and steeped in tradition. While the role today is purely ceremonial, it holds profound significance. The emperor's duties include opening sessions of the National Diet, ceremonially appointing the Prime Minister, and serving as Japan's representative on the global stage by hosting foreign dignitaries. Unlike monarchs with governing authority, the Japanese constitution ensures the emperor has no political power. This strict separation aligns with democratic principles, guaranteeing religious freedom and keeping the imperial role symbolic. The current emperor Naruhito embodies this tradition, acting as a unifying cultural figure while maintaining neutrality in political matters. The emperor's role uniquely blends ancient traditions with the realities of modern democracy. It's a delicate balance, honoring Japan's storied past while adapting to its evolving identity. Though the emperor doesn't wield power, the role is central to Japan's cultural fabric, symbolizing a bridge between history and democracy. It's a timeless reminder of unity and continuity in a changing world. The Prime Minister, the true leader of Japan. If the emperor is the face of Japan, then the Prime Minister is its brain, hands, and feet. But how does one even become Prime Minister in Japan? How does Japan's government juggle the needs of 125 million people while blending ancient traditions with modern policies? Meet the leaders behind the scenes who make it all happen. While the emperor is Japan's symbolic figurehead, the actual power lies with the Prime Minister and their cabinet. The Prime Minister serves as the head of government, orchestrating everything from policymaking to defense. Unlike a US president, Japan's Prime Minister isn't directly elected by the people. Instead, voters choose political parties, and the party with the majority in the National Diet selects its leader to serve as Prime Minister. Once in office, the Prime Minister assumes a wide range of responsibilities. They lead the cabinet, oversee the administration, and act as Commander-in-Chief of Japan's defense forces. They also have the authority to dissolve parliament and call snap elections, a powerful tool for gauging public support or advancing urgent policies. The Prime Minister works alongside ministries like Foreign Affairs, Finance, and Education to manage specific policy areas. Meanwhile, local governance plays a crucial role in addressing regional needs. Japan is divided into 47 prefectures, each governed by elected officials who ensure policies suit their communities. Decentralization allows for autonomy in regions like Tokyo, which manages urban planning and public transit while adhering to national guidelines. Though the Liberal Democratic Party sets an internal 9-year term limit for its leaders, this isn't a constitutional rule. As long as their party remains in power, a prime minister, parliament the heart of lawmaking. Ever wondered how laws actually come to life in Japan? Well, it all goes down in the two chambers of parliament, the House of Representatives and the House of Councillors. Japan's parliament, or national diet, is bicameral, meaning it has two chambers. The more powerful of the two is the House of Representatives, with 465 members, which controls major decisions like the national budget. The House of Councillors, on the other hand, provides balance, making sure laws are carefully debated before approval. If the two houses can't agree, the lower house, where most power lies, gets the final say. Parliament meets for 150 days a year, with extra sessions called if needed. If the Prime Minister loses support, Parliament can issue a vote of no confidence, essentially firing them. This keeps leaders accountable, ensuring they answer to the public's will. Parliament does more than just pass laws. It ratifies international treaties, approves the national budget, and plays a crucial role in selecting the Prime Minister. Through all of this, it ensures the government is transparent and accountable, with the power to challenge and question decisions. Parliament is the backbone of Japan's democracy, shaping laws, holding leaders accountable, and ensuring the government stays on track. Point justice in action. How Japan keeps order. How does Japan's justice system keep one of the world's most densely populated nations running smoothly? The answer lies in its unique mix of tradition, efficiency, and independence. Japan's judicial system blends civil and common law traditions, ensuring fairness and maintaining order. At its helm is the Supreme Court in Tokyo, which interprets the Constitution and ensures laws align with it. Below the Supreme Court are high courts, district courts, family courts, and summary courts, each handling cases ranging from constitutional challenges to everyday disputes. Japan's Supreme Court, with 15 justices appointed by the cabinet, operates under a civil law system that emphasizes written laws for clarity and consistency. Cultural values of harmony and discipline shape its efficient legal process, contributing to Japan's low crime rate. While some question the influence of the Liberal Democratic Party on judicial appointments, the courts remain a crucial part of democracy, ensuring government accountability and protecting citizens' rights. Japan's judicial system isn't just about enforcing laws, it's a vital force behind the nation's stability and trust. By balancing tradition with fairness, it keeps the country's legal framework strong and its society harmonious. The bureaucracy, the unsung heroes. Ever wondered who's behind the scenes, making sure Japan's government stays on track? It's the bureaucrats, the quiet experts running the show. Japan's bureaucracy is the engine behind the government, drafting laws, answering questions, and driving policies forward. They act as the GPS for the Prime Minister, navigating everything from domestic policies to international relations. Becoming a bureaucrat in Japan isn't easy. It requires passing the highly competitive National Public Service exam, designed for the country's sharpest minds. Once in, they face long hours and a demanding workload, amplified by Japan's intense work culture. This has led to fewer young people entering the field. But despite the challenges, Japan's bureaucrats remain vital to the government's operations. They manage everything from fiscal policies and welfare programs to disaster responses and technological innovations. While politicians make decisions, it's the bureaucrats who ensure those decisions are implemented with precision. Japan's bureaucrats may not get the spotlight, but without them, the government would grind to a halt. Their expertise, dedication, and tireless work keep the country running smoothly, often behind the scenes but always critical. So, Japan's government might look simple on the surface, but it's packed with history, tradition, and debate. If you're fascinated by how this system works and the challenges it faces, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more deep dives into the world's most intriguing political systems. Drop a comment below with your thoughts on Japan's constitution. Do you think it needs to change? Let's talk about it.